And I guess that makes us live.
We are live. Big
We,
red
we,
button in the
we,
corner.
yes, it's rather undramatic and unimpressive. I've got a thing saying Rasco and Disco have gone live. Bimber up the live.
Notification
Oh,
on your own stream. Excellent. Well, yes,
yes.
yes.
Well,
Welcome to Rascal and Disco's impromptu Monday night bank holiday Monday Madness live, I guess.
indeed, we're bimbering up the. Yeah, there's the camera. We're bimbering up the Monday Madness with a beer from Brew by Numbers, an Imperial Stout, collaborated with Bimber Whisky Distillery, who I interviewed one of the directors of back in a couple months ago. They're based in Acton, English whiskey. Don't get confused with no other part of the nation. So yeah, we're going to have this. Disco's had it before, and his can is slightly more or better looking than mine.
Well, I've just noticed that the numbers on your can are silver and the numbers on my can are gold, and I'm not sure. Maybe we've got and maybe you've got the latest iteration of it. I don't know.
Maybe mine's vegan friendly. Is your vegan friendly?
I couldn't have tell you, mate. To be fair, maybe you've got the barrel aged version after all.
Ooh. It doesn't say. It would usually say. Um, for our latest collaboration with Bimber Distillery, we retested our classic Imperial Stout base after retest, maybe base in Bimber, and ex-bourbon cask single malt, whiskey barrel. This ages allowed these incredible American oak vessels to impart their complexities and unique whiskies profiles into the beer. This special release showcases an entire fruit forward flavor, unavailing waves of our rich fruit, rich vanilla and caramel as it warms. That sounds delicious. We will be giving shout outs out to Bimber and to Brew by Numbers for this. I hope to be by Bimber next couple of months. This is batch number lot 0701. I've never seen that on a can before. Canned in conserve 08122121. I have no idea what that means. Yes. Oh, Mersey. How you
Rosie,
doing?
hello. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he says you've got the 2021 barrel aged version, but I think I've got the 2021 barrel aged version
Well, I know a man who can tell us, but I'm just not going to ask
because
him
my
right now.
barrel aged version is silver can with gold writing. But let's just drink one of them, Rasco.
Yes, and let's compare. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go, go. Oh, the smell of it is glorious already.
Howdy, Steve.
Hey,
There we go.
Steve. I can't actually see the comments, so I'm just going to repeat and say whatever Disco says. Now, this is in my GBBF 2022 glass, and I think it's one of my favorites already. It's a half glass that we're offering. It's got, only problem is it's got Weatherspoons written on it. The live beer experience, and yes, it's lovely. No mad symbol, just a Jeep camera logo. Isn't that great? I'm not sure about the camera being here and the screen being here because I keep looking at the screen and I notice it's not right. But no, I look at your face. That's what I'm meant to be doing. I don't have much of a head on mine. You've got a bit of a head retention. I'm just happily smelling this. I can smell a bit of oakness in it.
Uh-huh. So we're still on the mystery there. Mersey says his was like yours. They had last year, and he had the same can as you. So I've got two different cans entirely. He said he found the whiskey was a little harsher than I like it, but generally a bourbon drinker. So
Interesting.
where do you stand with whiskey, Rasco? I know you've had a couple of you've had some Bimber whiskey, I believe.
I did. It is quite got a bit of a bite. I will agree. However, this doesn't. This is, I would say, this is lethal. But it's definitely got that bourbon feel to it because it just, how do you describe it?
Cheers, sharp stuff. Good stuff. Good. Thanks for joining.
Hello, sharp stuff.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah, I can look at comments this way. Okay. Yeah, and then it's got this kind of dry fruit to this going with it. I'd say that's a kind of a bourbon thing. It's at the back end. It's there. It's not overwhelming. It's kind of like, hello, how are you? Instead of, ha!
Yeah.
It feels like it's got Coke in it, but it doesn't. Put it that way.
Henry, good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, Henry. Hey, Rasco spelled with a K, but I'll let you off. And hello. Hello to everyone who's saying hello. Welcome to the Rasco and Disco Beer Show, Monday Night Madness. I love the sound of my own voice. Oh. Anyway, how are you finding? You talk now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember from the last time I did it last year, back end of last year. There is definitely, like you say, more of a kind of fruit note to it, from what I remember. I've got the video. I should have probably watched it before I did it to see what I found out there, but there's not a massive, for me, there's not, on that one, not a massive whiskey hit. There's definitely an alcohol hit, but it's not particularly distinct. But like I say, this was the original 2020 version. Although it's still in date, I think 25th. Oh no, 25th of the 2nd, 22 is the best before. Not that I often find that makes a lot of difference, especially with an Imperial Stout. But if I remember rightly, the way I read it, this was the original one that he did. They sent a Bimber barrel over to Brew by Numbers, which they soaked, I think, in whiskey, then chipped, and then put that into the brew to get the whiskey notes. And I think the one you've got is the barrel aged version that they actually put in a Bimber barrel to age for 6 months, 6 to 8 months.
This is starting to recollect when I spoke to Matt. Yeah, I believe you're right. Either which, look, that's what they do. This all came about because, quite frankly, Matt Mackay is just a fan of Brew by Numbers, and he was just visiting, and he just got chatting to them, and then he said, "I do this," and they said, "Oh, we could do this together," and that's how it happened. Really, that's the story. Maybe we'll get more of a story on it in the coming months. Who knows? I don't really know. This is perfectly enjoyable, but I think it's lethal because it can go down way too quick.
That is indeed a very good point. It's a very good point. There is a definite alcohol note to it, but it is. Well, first of all, it's a really good, very drinkable Imperial Stout. It's got some smoothness to it, some good notes to it. Yes, it is very dangerous.
Yeah,
Adam's opening an Imperial Stout in solidarity. Fair play to such as Resbiz.
Much appreciated, pal. Much appreciated.
Tempest, all the leaves are brown. Imperial Maple Brown Ale, barrel aged in Heaven Hill bourbon barrels. Just
lovely.
Sounds fantastic.
Lovely, mate. Lovely. Yeah, no, I kind of prefer a good Imperial to like kind of say, "Slow down, pal. Slow down," instead of "Have more."
Well, if we go too fast, I could get onto that one. We'll have to see, won't we?
Mate, I'll have to hit the stash if we, because it's the only one I've got, sadly. Brew by Numbers is a brewery I want to know more about. I have to admit, I have not worked my way through the numbers the way I would have liked to. And just on me, I think I am going to just go through the whole lot, whatever I can do, and maybe mark them down.
I'm not sure how the numbers. I've not even looked into it as to how the numbers work, but it's generally number whatever is your IPA's number. I suppose 64 is your Imperial Stouts, and then there's like the porters and stuff. But I did get an order when I got these in. I got an order in from them, and they
Mhm.
messed it up and sent me some more. So I got a couple, but that was like say 2020. So I've done a few, but I never quite went back to them because so many other things to get onto. To be fair,
Mm.
um,
Mark Jones is admiring your wardrobe.
oh yeah, again, yeah, in noticed the Brass Castle on a T-shirt. One of my first craft beers. A couple. Yeah, well, we were aware of Brass Castle, and I think in 2020 during lockdown, when I started ordering stuff online, I really got into Brass Castle in a big way. Ordered quite a lot. That's why I got the T-shirt as well. Haven't had quite so many this year actually from Brass Castle. I've got one in the stash. I've got a smoked brown I think from Brass Castle in the stash, and I've got a
Mm.
beer with seaweed in it from Brass Castle. So yeah, big fan of Brass Castle.
I Yeah, I'm getting a bad feeling. At LCBF, London Craft Beer Festival, it was an SAS sweat pit, mate. It was a heat wave was on, and it was just really hard. It was crowded, and I spoke to quite a few breweries, but there's a couple of breweries who I don't or I've gone to a big chat with. Said I'd speak to them, we'll do something together. I can't remember who they are. So it's either Colonel or Brass Castle, and I can't remember. So I just admit that if you are happening to watch this live, I apologise. Yeah, because it was
Uh,
an endurance
Evening,
test.
Bramwell. Good to see you. Sorry,
Hello.
Rasko. I'm just going to put the comments up as we go through because we're sort of well, we're not really new to YouTube lives, but we're new to
I'm
doing
not,
it and running the show. As Henry says, good to see us on the live. It is, and we've sort of slotted into this kind of 10 o'clock slot accidentally that we used to have on Instagram, but on a Saturday night.
I
But
always used to do
we
the
shall see how it
comments
goes.
very well on the Instagram when it wasn't breaking down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Simo, good evening, sir. Thanks for popping in. See ya.
Yes. So hang on, an
Everybody for
important
popping
comment
in.
there by Mersey. If memory serves, the others are one is a saison, 5 is IPA, 8 is an stout, 42 is a the DDH, pale ale. 55 is double IPA, 65 is a triple IPA. The last brew by numbers I had was one I was on the last Beer O'Clock show, which you can go back and listen to, either on all podcast things and YouTube. They uploaded it to YouTube as part of their archive. So yeah, that was the last one. It was delicious. I got it in Ealing in West London, just to big up West London because there are
Mm,
places to drink in West London. Just outside the station, set up by Lane Brewery, the Cat something, whatever it's called. But there,
yeah,
we're over in West London.
yeah. I've
But,
been there once.
yes, this is going down very well, as predicted.
Yeah,
Let
there's
us
a
know in
nice,
the comments some
it's a
imperial
nice.
lack of memories. Come on, show us what you got.
Yeah. Who else has got anything this time of night? I mean, a Monday night on bank holiday. If everybody's back to work tomorrow, then it's a brave move. But I think John was live earlier. I think he's just finished, as Jack has pointed out. John has
Oh,
sent in the
John's
tweet.
just
He's just
joined.
finished. No, he's just
Sorry,
finished.
didn't realise I was clashing. Don't
No,
apologise.
John's even in. No, John, you weren't clashing. We were. We just went live at 10 o'clock, totally impromptu, in our old 10 o'clock slot from Instagram, but on a Monday night, and we just went with it because we want to join up for a beer, do this Imperial Stout that we've been had in the stash, both our stash, for a while,
Hmm.
and we've got to get around to it, and here we are. Yeah, live on YouTube, like we
Which,
said we'd do eventually. So
which a friend of ours actually helped co-create. An
yes,
interview of me speaking to him, Matt Mackay. Check it out, please. Like, subscribe, do all the jazz. What else was I going to say? Fuck, right. So this weekend, on Friday, I get word that the Pigeon and Spatch and Hobday's bar is closing down.
yeah.
They're in the middle of expanding and they're closing their bar down. It was only meant to last 3 weeks. So I
Mhm.
go along with the intention of only having 3 beers.
Famous last words.
Yep. So there you go. I popped along 5 o'clock. No dinner, by the way. Yeah, and just worked my way from what they had on the taps. The fridges were there. Everything was a bit discounted. And then I was about to leave. And then I meet someone who used to work for Handspatch Update in their bar at the tap room in Croydon, where they had it on Saturday. She's setting up her own bar in Croydon anytime soon.
Right.
And then I got delayed. And then, Jack Hobsday shows up, and I had a brief chat with them. And then they start bringing out the Rauch beer, saying, "Yeah, we just brewed this, mate." And I go, "I love that." And they gave me one. And what I was chatting to Matt Mackay on the phone to about is because they had a range of whiskey. This bar was excellent. It's the same as gone. I mean, anything you want, wine, whiskey, beer, they had it. I mean, and I'm chatting to Matt and saying, "Oh, they've got this coffee whiskey here." He goes, "Oh, yeah, we've got plenty here. Don't spend your money on it." Oh, okay, fine, let's spend it on beer. I'm glad he said that, because I was a bit worse for wear. Whew.
No, my judge is 10%. It's a 10% Imperial Stout. I presume yours is 10% as well, because this one is as well. So.
11.
11?
11. 11%.
Definitely says 10 here, mate. Yours is 11. Well, there we go.
There you go. Extra percent in the barrel age. Let us know what you're doing. John, are you still watching? How are you, my Huddersfield friend? Henry, I don't think we speak much. I'd like to speak to you a bit more. Mersey, back to work tomorrow, hence the 11.2% brown ale. I like the attitude, mate. Good on you.
Yeah, well, experienced drinker like Adam, that's not a problem, really.
Yes, indeed. Well, I was back to work this morning.
Mr. McMahon, thank you.
I never stopped working. Right. Is it numbing your taste buds a bit? Because I'm suspecting...
not at all. Cheers, Mark. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you from the Craft Beer Hub.
Oh, hello. Hello. I remember bumping into you at GBBF, sir.
Oh, good one. Neil Long, hello. Also, thank you for popping in. Good to see everybody for this completely impromptu. Just went for it live, just to do the... just to get this 10% or 11%, as Rasco's is. Imperial Stout with Bimber Whisky.
And to cure my boredom, because I was very, very bored this evening.
Well, who knows where this might lead, Rasco, to lives, and cheers to lives.
Indeed, cheers to lives. You might even get a Saturday show back up and running, but I don't know. I don't know.
So you had quite a boozy weekend then. Did they say why the Pigeon was closing? Did they come out with, is it just general costs and stuff?
I didn't ask. I was too pissed. It's on there, right? My suspicion, and this is just a suspicion, and there's no malice in it, I think it was only meant to last 3 weeks. The Pigeon, it was meant as a pop-up. I think they want to do pop-ups more all over. I want to just spread their brand all over rather than fixed in one place. It makes sense. Pop-ups used to be a thing a decade ago in London. Not so much now, because it's just unaffordable. And I think it's just a matter of controlling costs. They have expanded the brewery in Croydon. And they just seem to go from strength to strength. Nothing really seems to stop them. They got, from what I can tell, maybe it's just control of costs and just wanting to spread the brand somewhere else, another part of London or another part of the country, because they are very southern based. And I think they should just spread the love. Yeah.
Well, that's Handspatch Update. They were always was going to expand out of Bermondsey.
Yep. And you got to bear in mind, they've only been around 8 years. It's hell. That's terrific growth considering everything.
Well, then Brew by Numbers have done the same. They've expanded over to Morden Wharf, isn't it? Over.
Really?
Is it Greenwich? I want to say Greenwich. I think it's Greenwich Way, isn't it? Down on the Thames somewhere. That's a good one. Mersey's on his brown hair with the bourbon kicking like a mule. That's exactly what you want on a Monday bank holiday evening.
Indeed. So, Disco, what is your favourite Imperial?
I really do not have one, to be fair. I haven't tried them all yet. This one, I would have said last year. I would have said this one if I remember rightly. I think it was one of those. Oh, wow, that's a real kicker kind of moments. That's a good point, Mersey. More breweries doing collab bars like the experiment. It would keep costs down. Like Anspach and Hobday and 5 points. Probably not 5 points because they've got their own bar, aren't they? The Pembury Tavern. So it'd probably be Anspach and Hobday and then North. So it's more likely to be, well, it would have been Anspach and Brew by
North.
Numbers, I would have thought. I could have seen them do that. But anybody else in.
No, that's actually, I think Mersey's onto a point. 5 points are based in Hackney, which is like northeast London, but I just prefer to say east. But again, they could do a pop-up. Again, pop-up's all about spreading the brand. And you can just continue to lease. It may work, but at the same time, I think the brand, why would you want to dilute your brands by mixing up? They're kind of like the same level weight, if you know what, put it in boxing terms.
Wait, you see the experiment. I mean, is because it's pressure drop in it, so it's like it's people who haven't got even a pop up or haven't even got their own bar. That's kind of where they went. But Anspach and Hobday kind of have got their own thing, and they have got their own bar there now in Croydon, and also the one still in Bermondsey. But if it was going to be Anspach, it probably would be Signal because they're next door.
Well, Signal and Anspach got nothing in common though.
Right.
Signal really just like doing sessionable beer. That's a bit, and they go out. They don't even appeal to craft drinkers. They're actually really trying to they're trying to steal Foster drinkers, if I'm honest. And fair play to them. The Signal do perfectly good beer for what they do.
That's true. Pressure Drop have got the experiment as well as their own bar.
I'll tell you what, Pressure Drop and Anspach are collaborating on a beer, and Pressure Drop are actually only. No, sorry, I'm getting them mixed up with someone else. Drop Project. I'm getting them mixed up with Drop Project. Anspach and Hobday are collaborating with Drop Project, which is located in Mitcham, which isn't too far away from Croydon.
Jimmy's just popping in. Cheers. Here's a random one. I'm not sure if he means me or you, but one of us looks like the spit of Steve Wright off Radio 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's me.
I'm actually missing Trevor Nelson. Trevor Nelson's on 10 o'clock. I'm not going to win 5 seconds the name tonight.
You always watch it on the catch up there, Rasco.
Yeah, but it's not like you can't text in or email in live. I'm pretty sure they don't do emails. They take either WhatsApp or text or email. I always email because it saves me money, and I never get called out. Never. Even when I get it wrong, Trevor doesn't try and humiliate me. So for that, I'm glad. But
that's a very interesting point, though, that Adam brings up about collabs. Other London breweries doing collab bars. It would make a lot of sense in the climate, and in the current climate, just sharing costs and stuff. And might see a few more of them pop up maybe next year, perhaps.
That's what I was about to say no, but then you kind of got me thinking in the few seconds your chat went, because it is about sharing costs, but at the same time, will anyone want to be going out to anywhere, no matter what it is? I don't know. I just hope for the best and hope for those lazy fuckers and number 10 to get off their arse.
We don't do politics on this channel, but you're completely right.
Yes, I know. But yeah. So that's. So who knows which way it's going to go? I just hope it goes in a good direction and beer flavors stay good. I mean, I'm quite curious because the Craft Beer Channel have announced another documentary on brewing an original British or English IPA, and Roger Proltz's book IPA actually documents him brewing that in Ubrew when they used to be around the Bermondsey Beer Mile before they went bankrupt. And I won't complete the rest I was going to say, but and it is quite interesting. I really want to see it from the visual sense rather than just being written, because what Roger talks about, he actually tries to replicate, the conditions about it would have been on a boat for months, the beer, and how that
Yeah.
adds to the taste and stuff. Are they going to try and do that, and what they're going to do? And yeah, just bring IPA back to its original core, because it has got a bit mad. I'm not complaining about the madness about IPA. I think it's good that it remains experimental, but just bring it back to the core so we know where it came from.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I would volunteer that you should do a bit of both. Really, you've got all the experimental and different stuff and new stuff, and then yeah, do the traditional stuff as well.
No, I agree. But at the same time, sometimes you've got to look back to see where you came from to sometimes know
Yeah,
where you're going.
yeah, yeah.
That's my philosophical moment. No more ranting. It's now Rasco's philosophical moment.
So you had a pretty boozy weekend, anyway.
Just Friday was boozy, and I didn't want to do anything else on Saturday. Yeah, but then I went back to the art and craft and stayed there and had a few beers, and yeah, had a Gypsy Hill beer, and once again, Gypsy Hill did not impress me. They had a beer which is a stout, 10% stout, and it was just like all over the place with flavour, no harmony whatsoever.
I still disagree with you on Gypsy Hill, but you've probably had more beers from them than I have. But the one or two that I've had have been pretty good. So who
It's not
knows?
that they're bad. I just find them chaotic and out of balance, and yeah, and not good chaos. It's kind of like
not like the chaos that I had the weekend of a cucumber hefeweizen.
oh yes,
Mm,
yes.
mm.
Cucumber as a vegetable doesn't have much flavour. So
No,
what's it?
well, no, but it does have a distinct flavour note. I think.
Yeah,
I think there's a distinct, although there's a lot of water content, so it doesn't have a massive flavour. I think it has a distinct note. You can tell it's something is cucumber, and that's why I'm not sure about cucumber in beer. What does anybody else think about cucumber in beer?
or cucumber in general.
General,
Um,
yeah.
but don't get kinky. I don't want to
Mm.
hear no kinkness. No.
Yeah.
Might be a 10 o'clock show, but no, don't want to know. Right? But yeah, so that's a great experiment. That's what I like about where beer is at the moment. The experiment of just doing anything.
Mm.
Why not? It might turn out to be something. Who knows?
Well, so as you know,
Um,
so everybody else knows, I was up at my local brewery, Perivale, which we've sang quite a lot about. Both me and Rasco, to be fair, we did a review from there a couple of months back, and I think you one of the things we are in agreement is Perivale's general quality and experimentalness of bringing different beers out as well as their core range. Uh, Tiny brewery, kind of in terms of size, on a urban farm in uh, northwest London or West London. But yeah, I did say to the brewer, I said to Mike, I said, "What possessed you to put cucumbers in a Hefeweizen?" And by the way, last time out when I was with Craig, we had the Hefeweizen. Their base Hefeweizen was exceptional, off the scale, absolutely fantastic,
yeah.
really nice drinking beer. So to go and put cucumbers in it, I thought was a bit of a mad, not a gamble, but
Keep talking. Keep talking.
I knew full well that Perrier will pull it off because they're not afraid to do something. They've got their core range of a pale ale, occasionally a New England, and even arguably, their Nettle Pilsner is a core range beer. They didn't have it on this time. That was tasting brilliant the last time out, and probably the oatmeal stout. But to go and just mess with a Hefeweizen, which is a fairly pure kind of beer in the terms of the German sense, but to put cucumbers in it, bit of a gamble, but it kind of worked. I'm still not sure about cucumber in beer. Cucumber in beer generally goes towards sour beers. You get like cucumber and watermelon or something in a sour, which again, I'm not fussed about, but I have tried. But in a Hefeweizen, you couldn't really, it kind of overrided the Hefeweizen taste for me. Uh, but it was still an extremely drinkable, refreshing, cool kind of beer for sitting in the sun as we were on Saturday. So it was interesting, and I'm glad I tried it. But Yeah, I'm interested to see what anybody else thinks about cucumber and beer, especially in Hefeweizen. But their oatmeal stout Saturday was fantastic. I had several pints of that to finish. It was like a chocolate muffin in a glass. I did say I went with dessert in a glass. It was a really, really good stout.
Yeah,
And again, all their beers are good because they're fresh off the back of the brewery. So that's why we enjoy them
literally,
so much.
literally.
Mm.
I think you're right. Back at London Craft Beer Festival, you challenged me over Tatsiki beer, which I believe I had before from Orbit.
Yeah.
And it started out a bit Ming at first, and as you got into it, it started being nice. It's an odd one though, Tatsiki, but again, love the experiment. That's got usually Tatsiki's got cucumber in it. Just a comment from Mersey Beers who said, I think more breweries are going to fall back on core range. I've been predicting that for 2 years now, and now I think yes, it might happen unless they go bankrupt first, because it will happen like that. Be honest.
Go on. What you could? I was going to do Paul's one next, just to slip that one in. Look, and you like absolutely comment a cucumber in beer. Surely that makes it a cocktail. Yeah, fair enough. But you know, you got to try these things, haven't you? You got to try these things. And Adam finishes that off there with Adnams cucumber and melon sour was awful. That might be because it's Adnams. I'm not a big fan, but yeah, cucumber and melon, cucumber and something else. I'm not sure. I say this Hefeweizen turned out to be pretty good. To be fair,
I was in the Waterloo tap.
I was taking it easy.
I was in the Waterloo tap like last week, and I do not get your whole thing of Adnams. They've got a decent Adnams beer on, other than Ghost Ship. I do not get your whole Adnams thing, mate. I think you need to let it go.
I tried.
I'm going to invite them on the show. And, yeah.
Listen, I tried it. I didn't review it in the end. That one was 6 months out of date, I think. And I've got to try and find the footage of the one I did before it. And I still don't like it.
Cask.
Perfectly decent beer. I grant you, perfectly decent beer, but I still don't like it.
Cask. All I'm going to
Talking of which, as Jack Bandit says, his beer journey is bringing back to a more traditional beers, water, barley, yeast, hops, etc. I'm disappointed with anything else. That's fair enough. I mean, we flip from your traditional real ale styles into craft and back again with relative ease. Really, I always find it's all about the beer itself rather than the style so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's a good point also from Mersey. I think breweries that don't do small packing cans or bottles are really going to struggle this winter. I agree, because nothing irks me. Well, few things irk me more than going on a brewery I really want to buy from and having to buy 12 of something that I might not like, whereas I will normally just buy I buy in twos or at least one. I was on 2 different breweries today, and they both did small pack, but it's just there's so many beers and so much choice out there. It's so difficult. So breweries that only do stuff in 12s, I can't. But if they've got 4 beers on, I'm not spending 120 quid on 48 beers. Like, it's just madness. But I can understand why they do it. Economies of scale, I suppose.
Can we just highlight certain comments in gold or with stars or something like that?
Well, Adnams versus Sierra Nevada. I'm never even. Well, I will. If somebody sent me it, I would. But if I buy an Adnams and Sierra Nevada collab? Well, maybe for content, but
I'll give
it a go.
That one. I've not had it, but I would love to have it because I keep an open mind about my beers I drink.
I will get back to Broadside at some point and try it. I don't think I like that either. But you always say, Rasker, you think I've had some dodgy pints along the way, and I think that's true. Like,
yeah,
because I've said the Ghost Ship is all right, but it's just not my thing. I probably have had a couple of bad pints. The same with the Broadside. But Adnams, I don't know. I had this theory that I didn't like beers with kind of certain hop profiles, and they had a generally same hop profile. I think Adnams of a lot of their beers. But I've got to go back and try them.
Remember on the Instagram show you having Sierra Nevada and going, yeah, that's all right, and then changing your mind a few weeks later, saying, yeah, it wasn't all that.
No, well, yeah, it was okay, but it just wasn't my thing. That's the thing. I'm not that bothered about the kind of hot profile on Sierra Nevada. It's just a
But
little
you
bit too
like
much for
dry
me.
pour.
Well, that's the thing. I don't understand why I'm quite happy to drink dry pour. I think I forced myself to like dry pour. I don't know.
Mm.
And a couple of other beers. One of which I suppose in my beer of the year list is kind of hoppy, but in a good way,
Yeah.
in a more balanced way. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just trying to bring up what I found. Maybe I will be able to find it. I probably will. It's not looking good.
Mm.
Um, oh, that's good.
Simo on the German lagers and Weiss beers in this hot weather. Absolutely right. I've
Is
had
it
one or
hot
two good
stick?
ones. A couple of
Um,
stinkers. A couple of stinkers on German beers, isn't it? It's not possible to have bad German beer, is it? But probably is. Was one or two.
everyone has a bad one sooner or later. Oh right, yes. Thanks to your advice, um, Disco, I went by All Hail, which you've never been to because I thought you had been to, but you haven't. You just
Mm.
Googled it. I went to All Hail in Bournemouth.
Oh,
If
all
you're in
hell yeah,
Bournemouth,
yeah.
go. It's a great bar, a slightly little bar, and ah, I had on cask the usual best bitter, best bitter at 4.2% by Frome, and it was absolutely freaking gorgeous. Then I had by unbarreled on keg, Kickerbrocker strawberry, raspberry, and cherry ice cream pale. Sorry, let's repeat that. Pale, not a sour. You think that'd be a sour, but it's not. It's a pale. It's
Mm.
weird and wonderful. Go check
Uh-huh.
All Hail out, everyone. I'm going to put up some photos of them on the Instagram and Twitter so you get a sense of it. And then Roger Protz's recommendation, I went by the brew house and kitchen, their chain where they brew their own beer in the in-house. I don't think it's all that. I think it's okay. I like the experiment. Some of the beers there are okay. Yeah, go check it out. Whatever.
Talking of wonderful, thanks for the reminder, John. Just to remind you that Disco Made Me Do It is in the brew pan for Christmas. I'm pleased to see it's still there and nothing's changed so far. Coming up, stout from Lord's Brewing called Disco Made Me Do It.
Well, I have to
So
go
thank
visit
you, John.
then. Oh, bloody hell.
Well, it's in the travel list. We'll get there at some point.
Fine. I have to leave the M25 again. Christ. Anyway, what else can I talk about? I don't know.
I'm just gonna briefly fall out with Simo. I'm not, but I couldn't get on with Erdinger beers. They weren't bad, I suppose, just very average. See, that's fair enough. But yeah, I quite like the Erdinger Weiss beer, and certainly the um, Erdinger Dunkel. I'm quite. I was. If I was in the supermarket, that was one or two that I would be picking up until they closed the supermarket. I had them in. I had to go a bit further, but yeah, no, I was fine with Erdinger, but that's fair enough. If you don't, you don't. That's cool.
Oh,
Wise
bloody hell.
words from Sharp Stuff. Just don't drink Carling and you'll be all right. I think that's something we can all agree on.
Yes. I'm just looking at the Gypsy Hill I had on Friday night, actually. What's it called? It's called the Chatsworth Bakehouse, I believe.
Uh
Oh,
huh.
messy. But I had a Saison DuPont. I completely forgot I had that. It was at 6.7%. And the first beer I had actually there was at the Pigeon was 7.7% beer by some monks. And then look at this. I'm getting on the Trappist Rochefort #6. Yeah, so I was a bit pissed on Friday night. Oh, and I remember finishing on the Stout Porter by Anne Sebastian Hobday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't doing much after that. Just so you know, it's coming up. Putin Oi Hoi, I've drank. Oh, Rasco, you need to come to Yorkshire. I'll put you up on my sofa. Thank
John,
you.
you'll never get rid of him, John. You'll never get rid of him.
Yeah, we shall see. If I can, because the trip is now in doubt, I was planning to be at the Yorkshire Camera Beer Festival in 2-ish weeks' times. I shall notify all if I am there, and we'll see. Because I'm now. I was 100% sure. No, I was 90% sure 3 weeks ago, and as the weeks have gone by, I am losing percentage points for various reasons.
Back on a bit, yeah, fair enough. Hackish 4 and Snyder Tap. Well, I don't know about the other one. I don't think I got around to Hackashaw. I will do eventually. Erdinger German staple. They also do the best and consistent alcohol free. Yeah, the Erdinger alcohol free wasn't bad, and I don't really get into alcohol free beers. Yeah, I've tried it, and they call it an isotonic drink, which is weird. John's at York Beer Festival. Well, there you go. That's a reason you're on it.
You're killing me, John. You're killing me, honestly. Oh, okay. The percentage points just went up a bit.
Rascal, what are we doing? Because I've just put the other Imperial Stout on the rack there. I don't know whether to do it or not.
Why do you always ask me what we're doing? You decide.
Well, I want to know if you're staying for another beer, mate.
Oh yeah, stay till midnight. Fuck it, let's do a 24-hour stream.
Well, steady on. We'll give it a go. But I thought I'd give you notice if you wanted to get another beer in, son.
You keep on drinking. I have no idea what I'm going to drink. I have to go upstairs, and I won't have microphone access to keep talking. Or will I? Let's try it. Let's try and experiment with things and see how they fuck up.
Here come the technical difficulties that will always beset a Rasco and Disco stream.
Hey, people who used to watch the show, did you miss us? Did you miss the technical difficulties?
Technical Difficulties is the name of an excellent YouTube channel, by the way, from Tom Scott.
Right, I cannot hear you through the microphone. I will see. So, you got to be sorry, but you've got to be there. Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, didn't we decide you couldn't do Bluetooth headphones through StreamYard?
You can.
Oh, I thought that's the problem we had at the last beer festival, that we couldn't hear each other.
No, I can hear you. You won't be able to hear me. Ah, yeah, hang on. That won't work. Yeah. Let's forget that, man. Or someone can hear someone. Never mind. You keep talking to yourself and the people in the comments while I go get a beer.
Fair enough. Well, there's an offer that Rasco can't refuse as well. If Rasco and or Disco is coming up north, I'll commit to getting the train. In 2 weeks' time, it will be Rasco if he can pull it off. But yes, it would be good to meet you as well, Adam, over there, and we'll try and get Rasco to do that. My travelling days are limited at the moment, but I'm not afraid to walk the 3 miles to my local brewery, and that's about as much as I'm doing like I did on Saturday. And there's another one coming up in a couple of weeks, so I shall wander up my local brewery and let Rasco do the wandering up north until I talk to John about that Disco made me do it stout that he's got in the brew plan. So we shall see how that goes. Well, it looks like Rasco's getting another beer, so I guess I should get another beer. I'm going to put it in the same glass because it's essentially the same beer. I normally have a glass of water to sweat it out, but let's put it in the same glass. Don't hate me. So this is the same beer, but I think this is the barrel-aged version that Rasco just had, but a different year. The one I had before was an Imperial Stout brewed with Bimber barrels in the brew, so chipped Bimber barrels soaked in the whiskey. This is the barrel-aged version. Still says on my glass 10%. Rasco claims his was 11. We shall check that out for facts later with our man from Bimber, Matt McRae, who is a big Brew by Numbers fan. That's how they did the collab with Brew by Numbers. Rasco, welcome back. Mersey says he'll see you in Yorkshire if you go out to John's
I
beer
I
festival.
heard that bit. I heard that. Right, I've got another beer, and I picked this up at the Pigeon, now closed down. It's called Throwing Shades by
Oh yeah.
Good Chemistry Brewing. It's
I thought
oatmeal
it was.
stout. And the reason I got this is because I know nothing about them.
Really?
Yeah,
Even though I reviewed several of their beers.
yeah, definitely because of that. All the oats, jumbo malted, the golden naked oats give the dark and roasty stout a smoothie, silky body. Well, basically, I got this because I think it's the most collaborative thing that will complement what I just had. Because I've got nothing which will complement what I just had,
No,
apart from the Rauch beer by Anti Hob Day. So I'm going to give it a go. I was going to review this and see how it goes, but hey, so you've done a review on this, have you? One or two?
Yeah, so I had several good chemistry breweries. I got a box from them back end of last year. So I got one of their disco beers as part of the disco collection. Disco Fizz is their beers. I've had a couple of those before. I didn't realize until I got them in. But yeah, they've got their regular beers called Kokomo Weekday, which is an IPA. I think that was quite nice. I even pretty much enjoyed their black IPA, and you won't hear me say that about black IPAs very often. But they've got some good stuff. All the beers are really good from Good Chemistry. So Mersey says they're hit and miss. So let's see whether the one you've got is a miss. Remind me what you said it was again.
It's an oatmeal stout.
Oatmeal stout, fair play, fair play. It won't be as good as the oatmeal stout I had on Saturday, but it looks all right.
Called Throwing Shade.
Throwing Shade, okay.
Well,
that does kind of complement an Imperial Stout, just slightly less on the ABV, I guess.
5% less. See, that's nice. The instant thing that went through my mind, it's missing the booziness because it's not Imperial. It's a 6% stout. No, it's nice. And I can't truly be fair to it. And it's a shame I'm drinking it, to be honest, in some ways. Because it is coming on the back end of something which was quite potent.
Wow. Okay, go on. I've got words as well, but finish yours. Sorry.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
I cleaned out the glass the best I could. Yes, continue with your words if you must.
No, sorry. Halfway through listening to you, I just took a sip there, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. This is what I remember the other one to be.
Ooh.
That compared to this one, I would say this one's newer. I believe. I think, if I remember rightly. Well, that's got a shorter date on it, but yeah, that one immediately tastes boozier. Tastes a bit more cakey, pastry, kind of a little bit thicker. A little bit sweeter, but really rather nice, to be fair. Knocking back to 10% Imperial Stouts on a Monday night. Why not?
Indeed. Well, the beer I had before that was 8%. So this is actually, going up and going up and going down. And yeah, whatever. And that was a golden bitter. And it's literally called Putin, you dickhead.
Superb.
Yes. So yeah, there's a video coming out of that hopefully this week. I can get around to editing anything. This is delightful. It's a bit, I would have said it's a bit milky, but it doesn't seem to indicate that. It is nice. It is kind of very refreshing, pairing with porridge and flapjacks, oats. Well, there you go. It's going down. This could go down very easy. I could probably down this in two. Lovely shot of you, by the way.
Yeah. Well, my impression of good chemistry was I thought all the beers were pretty good. To be fair, my only complaint about good chemistry was the cans are so bloody hard to photograph or put on video because of the silver uh, element
Yeah.
of the can wrap. And the colours are great, but the silver you can't really read the writing properly. So, but that doesn't detract from the beer inside. As always, it's not about the art. But that was my only complaint about good chemistry, really.
Hmm. Um,
Bristol is another place we need to do a little trip to at some stage, somehow, amongst all the other many places that we need to get to. But there's a lot to do in Bristol.
can't all these places just come into the M25 island? Just make it a bit easy. In fact, fuck that. Come to
Mate, we got
Croydon.
enough within the M25, right? Getting outside.
Yeah, no, just come. No, come to Croydon. I'm barely leaving Croydon these days, so
Well, again, everybody loves their local, like
Well, I do, and I don't. Oof. Everyone has their indifference to a local. What do you know about good chemistry? They're based in Bristol, right? You say? Are they
yeah,
part of the Bristol scene that's popping up, or are they?
yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
I think they're despite what Adam says have been hit and miss, but I think they're fairly well thought of in Bristol. I can't remember if they've got a tap room. Um, they don't do too much on social media, so I don't see them too much. Occasionally pop up on Twitter with some stuff. Um, so I don't know too much about them. But I say I had a box of. Again, they were. Did I have to order a 12 box? I think I ordered 10 or 12 beers. It was a good. Actually, I ordered a mix box because it included the Disco Fizz. Disco Fizz was a sour, so it wasn't anywhere near really my disco beer of the year last year. That said, my disco beer of the year was a sour last year, wasn't it? From Neon Raptor. But all the beers were really good. There was a best bitter in there. There was a session IPA in there. There's a pale ale in there. Like I say, there was a black IPA, and even that wasn't too bad. Here I knew Adam would know. Part-time tap room. He got turned away as they were full. Well, it's better than getting turned away for being wasted. Pierre Bruni's thanks for popping
that's
in.
never
Cheers.
happened. That's never happened.
Yeah. Highly recommended. Bristol Left Hand Giant Brew Pub is ridiculously good. Yeah, I've seen the pictures of it up there on the waterfront. Looks fantastic. I have actually stayed a night in Bristol, but kind of just before I didn't quite get the time to check everything out there. But I want to go wild beer in Bristol Docks as well. But Bristol Docks is really nice to wander around. There's loads of sort of tap rooms around that way. Lots of breweries in and around Bristol to check out. To be fair,
Yeah.
working on it, John. Working on it. Watch this space.
You don't have to do every comment. You can just highlight what you want.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's why I've highlighted every comment. Well, I haven't actually. Some of the early ones we missed. I just put the ones on that are relevant, to be fair. And
Yes.
with up to 14 people at one stage, all the comments were relevant. So we welcome comments.
Yes, indeed. On this, I'm not saying this is a return to a live show, but I'm not denying it either. I'm not
Well,
saying
it's happened, Rasco. If it happens again, that'll be a thing, won't it?
we'll see. You see. But yeah. What I was going to say, I have been somewhere else. France. I've been to France. They really like their IPA in France. I drank a lot of good French IPA. Don't ask me what they're called, but I drank a lot of good French IPA. I don't know why they like IPA so much out there, but
Of course, you was in Paris, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in Paris a month ago. And yeah, there I was. I did get some recommendations to some bars. I couldn't do all of them. I did one, which was recommended to me by Matt Curtis on Twitter. Thank you very much. It was a cheesy Belgian bar he recommended. It was great, and I had a really weird meal which I couldn't finish because it was disgusting. But hey, yeah.
Why was it disgusting?
It was kind of like this. sausage meat combined with a lot of liver, kidney, and stuff. Maybe even a bit of horse. I don't know.
Oh, what you're saying was it was awful.
Yeah, it was awful, and I gave it a go. It was surrounded by a nice mustard sauce, and the mustard sauce was absolutely smack bang. But I couldn't do it, and I don't regret buying it because you got to try. But I was drinking some good IPAs, and obviously I had to have some Trappist beers. Oh, I love the Trappist. Oh,
Yeah. Mezzy Rasco has untapped. He just didn't untap anything, I don't think.
I do. That's right. I don't tap much. I don't Instagram much. I don't do much apart from do the least minimal, or at least try to do minimal 2 YouTube videos a week. I do a lot of stories on Instagram these days. Yeah, that's it. I should do more Untapped, and I will do more Untapped. That's my September revolution.
Mission.
Mission.
You probably do more Untapped than I do because I did look at Untapped at the beginning of July just to find out more disco beers, and I still don't really understand how it works. To be fair, I never got into checking beers in it. I just use it as I was trying to use it as a reference material, but I didn't understand the search function very well. So, and I never wanted to get into it because it was just another app I didn't really want.
You never wanted to get into Instagram. You never wanted to get into hashtags. You never wanted to get into Twitter. You never wanted to get into YouTube. Come on, man. It's simple. It's actually, Untapped is really, really good for referencing things, and I should just use it more.
Yeah, I agree.
But I should use it more.
Yeah.
Oh,
but would you use it to check beers in so you can remember what beers you've drunk, or would you just use it as a reference point?
Both, because I or I get a bit frustrated. Not hate, I get frustrated. But the fact, I'm drinking a beer and then I go, oh wow, this is great. Why have I never had this before? It turns out I've had it quite a few times before.
It's like maybe not now, but in 5 years' time when you're trying to remember what you had in 2020 or whatever.
But it came up on my Google memories. So I took a picture. It was in the Green Dragon. I had a black IPA 3 years ago. I was like, wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't recall having a black IPA 3 years ago. It kind of brought back some memories, and just going through it. It's probably in the Instagram archive somewhere, which you can interact with people and see what we have and have not had, and that's that. So, give us some likes.
Please like and consider subscribing. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Untapped is useful for finding pubs and bars. Yes, exactly. I've only used it for beers so far.
Oh my word! By Luke.
Yes, Luke. Yes, we is here. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Cheeky little Imperial Stout live review for you.
Indeed. Kind of. Oh.
You've never been that good on numbers, have you, Luke?
No, I think his numbers are superb. And may I say, it was a pleasure and honour to meet you at London Craft Beer Festival, Luke. Honestly, so you just message me anytime. You're a good man, you. 90%.
I'll tell you what I'm getting now. I'm getting a kind of barrel-agey kind of... I'm getting a wood barrel kind of thing. There's a little bit of a burr, a kind of wooden... I'm not a big fan of wet wood, but I've got that kind of slightly outside edge of wood, which is a bit weird.
I'm just going to keep that comment there for a while.
Oh, okay, I thought I'd taken it off.
I know, I just put it back.
Wow, we can both do comments, Rasco. That could only get complicated, couldn't it?
Indeed, yeah. That's interesting what you say about the beer, boy. It is very interesting. I wish I had another, to be honest, because this is good. It's a bit weak, particularly in body. It's nice, but at the same time, am I being fair to it after what I just had? Have my palate
Well, yeah. If
kind
you normally you would have, if you were on a run, you would have done them the other way round probably and finished on
of
the Imperial. But we weren't to
yeah.
know. It's all impromptu, isn't it? We just flying by the seat of our pants here.
Yeah, I blame John. He told us to get another beer. So, John, if you're listening or watching, blame you. I'm sorry, but I
Exactly.
blame you.
Exactly.
Mm. Yeah. So, when is the next Perryvale event?
The next pair of event is, I think it's 2 Saturdays' time. It's must be something like the 9th or 10th of September, I believe. I can tell
That's
you, I
when
think
I'm
it's
meant to
about
be in York.
okay. Well, that's all right. That's the beauty of you have two of us on the channel. You can do one thing, I can do the other.
Indeed. York camera. I'm Googling it now. Beer festival. And yeah, I've been hearing about this beer festival for years. And like many, it's making its grand return this year.
10th of
No,
September is the next Paravel tap date.
no, no. The York one is in the 14th to the 17th.
Oh, that'll be the following week. It'll be all right. So, yeah, 10th of September is Paravel.
Okay, I might have a bit. Yeah, all right. I've never been to York, so I look forward to it.
I've been to York
Garden
many
Fire.
times, but not staying for the beer. To be fair, I've done several day trips and a weekend before we were looking at beer. So York's a good place for a drink.
Yeah, that's good. That's good
Another one
because
on the list.
I do this beer tube thing, and so
Mm.
you know. Does anyone know anything about York? Let us know. Yeah, but what I really want to get to the heart of, sorry to bring this back, why do the French love their IPA so much? I mean, literally, this thing about saying the French don't love their beer. No, I think they do. They really do. They're a wine nation. They are a wine nation. They
Yeah,
really like their
yeah.
beer too. Like everyone does. South Korea apparently loves their craft beer.
Well, that's the thing with it. There's always going to be some either little niche somewhere or some little enclave that people's going to enjoy that particular thing. So, uh,
Yeah.
is he saying you're Pamela Anderson or I'm Pamela Anderson? I'm not really sure.
I don't want to know.
I think he's saying you're a massive tit.
No, he's saying I'm a massive icon to many.
Massive. You're a massive pair of personalities.
Oh, I'll go with that. I'll go with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Personally, I prefer Pamela without her son.
Dun, dun, dun. So. No. Hang on. The StreamYard thing
Yeah,
with the earphones only works on the mobile phone. It works fine on the laptop. We tested that. Sorry,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
random thought that came to my mind. This beer is just, oh man, it's becoming more uneventful as it goes down. That's sad. That's sad, man.
Is Adam's come up with a challenge for you. I'm not even sure where he's talking about. How quick can Rasco get to the Golden Ark and back with a pint of good chemistry? They have their bitter on cask. Where's the Golden Ark? I presume he means in your area,
Google
in
it.
your manor.
I doubt it.
If it was the Green Dragon, you would have been on.
I can go. Oh no, I can't. It's closed now.
That's the point. It's 11. How far away is it?
Golden Ark.
I don't even know the name of that part.
South Croydon.
Oh.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, I have heard of this place. It's won a few awards.
Oh, Selsdon. No, Selsdon's miles away.
No, he means one in South Croydon. Hang on. All right.
Well, that is. Yeah, no, that's miles away. You're talking a train and a bus. I tell you what, it looks like it's worth a trip, though. It's a micro pub. Oh, Addington Road.
24 minutes on the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, even I can't feel for that long.
20. It's only 4 miles. All right, no,
Yeah,
I have
Selden's
heard of
well
this.
out the way.
All right, yeah, all
I've
right. I'll
been to
tell you what,
Selden.
Adam. I'll go down there. Uh, I'll go down there before the gas prices, electricity gets too expensive for me to go anywhere. Um,
It looks like it's worth a trip. I'd not seen that one before, and I've been to Selsden.
Mate, I know, no, I have. It's been popping up on my radar. It's beaten the Hope in awards.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and for anyone who knows the Hope, and John knows the Hope. Sorry, John. Um, um, that's no easy thing to do. That is literally no easy thing to do.
Well, yeah, absolutely loving the hope.
Maybe it's well, I don't know what, but yeah, no, I need to pop down. I'm just a bit too local orientated, to be honest. But there is a decent local, and it's in the wrong direction. There's another one I want to get to, another micro place. I forget the name of it. Not too far away from me. The barman where in the art and craft in Croydon works at.
Oh yeah.
He lives right by it and he pops by it and he just tells me about it, what's going on there. It's kind of like, it's a shopfront bar. I'd say like it's like the Dodo, who I'm going to visit this next month.
Yep.
Um, Again, because last time I went there I was very pissed. And yeah, it's literally because as we know, lots of nano bars are popping up, and they used to be former shops and not necessarily pubs.
Yeah.
Establishments, and that's fine. That's what way it is, and that's the way it's got to go for the moment. And why, if you have a good big pub like the Green Dragon, you got to support it the way best you can, in however you can without killing yourself. What I am going to say is that Ealing Beer Festival, Scorcher Heat Beer Festival, which I'm so glad was outside. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. Gorgeous. I'm recounting, thinking back on the beer festivals I've done. Some of them feel like a year ago, but they weren't. Like the Ealing one was spectacular. I went 3 times. And every time was fantastic. I went on Saturday, the last day, and till closing at 6 o'clock, and left and went on to the Dodo. And the Dodo is a great pub. If you look it up on social media, you'll see the landlady there is always on social media promoting the bar as much as she can. And she's, doing great things. She's done a collab beer with Exclusive.
Elusive.
Elusive, yes. Elusive. And I had that at the Ealing Beer Festival. Ealing Beer Festival, fellas, it's a beer festival worth trekking down to if you like being outdoors. Let's hope it doesn't rain when you come down.
Adam's coming to London next year.
For a mild festival.
Yeah, we're well up for that. I can't think of what mild festival that would be in London, but I've always the card and we'll travel. Yeah, we'll give you some tips and advice on travel and find out where that is. That sounds right up our street. Well, I didn't do enough this year with mild May. To be fair, I didn't even get any mild beers in the end. There was some good stuff about as well.
I'm Googling that now. Mild Beer Festival in London.
It'll tell you where it is.
Yeah.
Born to be mild at Sandbrooks. Oh yes, yes. Born to be mild. I don't sing, but yeah, Sandbrook. I think they did something similar this year. I entered a competition to get a beer at Sandbrooks. Obviously, I didn't win. But yeah, we love a bit of Sandbrooks. I haven't really gone back to them in the last couple of years, even though they're a London brewery. They sort of don't bring enough beers out, really, but they definitely will be good for a mild. They're good for a porter and a stout. What's the Sandbrooks is their best bit is pretty good. The one on the blue. I'm losing it now. I can't even remember. The Wandle. I like Sandbrooks Wandle
Yeah,
very
good
much.
bit.
Our House Porter I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they're doing it next year as well. So that'd be good.
I'm in London 6 times between now and next May. Okay.
Well, you got to travel for your hobbies. I've been known to travel to up north in a day. I've gone to Middlesbrough in a day. I've gone to Newcastle in a day. I've gone to Hartlepool in a day. So yeah, no problem, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I'm getting.
Adam says he's more interested at the guest beers and the Sandbrooks. Fair enough, but Sandbrooks is a London real ale kind of brewery that we've loved for a while. So
They're about Portobello Road, aren't they?
no, they've moved now. They was in Battersea, but they've moved to the old Young's building in Wandsworth.
Oh,
Not
like,
Wandsworth. What am I talking about? What's it called? It begins with W.
sure they're
The
not
old
that.
the old Young's brewery got kind of divided up, and most of it was flats. Yeah,
Right.
Wandsworth. Yeah,
Wandle
Wandsworth.
Brewery.
And the guy who used to work at Young's was still kind of brewing there, and then
Yeah.
Sandbrooks have moved in to the old brewing space, what was left of the old brewing space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've been there since 2008, I believe.
Mm.
Sandbrooks. All right, hang on. Our story, blah blah. In 2006, we were told
Jimmy, come on, it's not that
that we
bad.
would
It's a
be
shithole, but it's my shithole. I love getting out
brewing
of London because it means I go home again, but I do like getting out of London and going other places. So yeah, it's not the
so
best, but it is what it is.
in what was going on?
Jimmy said he'd hate to be in London for that long, like 6 days. That's not
Fair enough.
consecutive days. Luke's going to be in there and going home again, but
In 2006, we were told that we would be brewing beer at the oldest continuing brewing site in the country, 1533, and as London oldest independent brewery, 2008. I'll probably have a laugh. All right. Okay, so they got kicked out. Sam Brooks. People, blah 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 blah. Where are you?
yeah, that's the thing about London. Like as Luke says, it's too big. But also, if you only if you think of it as too big, if you think of it as a bunch of little towns all slung together, it's like you know, like where Luke is, it'd be like Thornaby, Saltburn. But then you go out the coast, but it's in the same area, but just a much more spaced out. But yeah, I can see how it's intimidating. There are some parts of London I've never gone to, but yeah, I just know it because I've lived there and been all about the place. But I can see how it is too. But then I would say the same almost about Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham. It's a city, so it's kind of it is a bunch of other small towns all slung together. Same as most other cities across the country. If you don't know it, but if you know it, you know it. You know.
We shall see. Right.
I always feel I have to apologise for being from London just because of that attitude. Like Luke's, it's too big, it's like busy and blah blah blah. But it's not only Luke. I mean, Raggy says the same. You know,
You will
but some
never.
people,
No. You will never get me apologising saying I'm from London. Respect to anyone. You will never, ever get me apologising.
I don't
No.
apologise. I don't apologise for being from London. I feel like I have to apologise to people for saying it. You know, and it's like because people will go, "Ooh, fucking Londoners," you know.
And I take your compliment with my full heart, fucking Londoners. I'm going to get that tattooed on my chest. Even
Oh,
though
here
I
we
am
go. Yeah,
contemplating living in London.
Jimmy's redeemed himself now by mentioning the pineapple. I presume that's the one in Kentish Town. I don't know. The
Right.
pineapple in Kentish Town.
To get back to the point, yeah, Sam Brooks are in Wandsworth.
Yeah, Wandsworth. I keep getting
Yeah,
Wandsworth and Walthamstow mixed up for no apparent reason, apart from let's begin with W.
because they begin with W. Other than that, right. We're going to wrap this up next 10 minutes, by the way, because this
Fair
beer
play,
is
fair play.
boring, and I want to go to bed because I've got work tomorrow, and I need to be up at
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, Jimmy, so you remember the pineapple in Kentish Town? Didn't you just up from the station, turn left?
I know it very well. The
Yeah.
pineapple
Yeah.
does quite good curry, and very nice interior. And enough pubs get commented on in this interior. It's like a proper old 18th century pub.
Yeah.
Long may it continue to exist. Beers are not too bad. They're nothing special, but they're pretty good.
We normally go to Rose and Crown, which is a bit further up, but also a bit more expensive.
Yeah, Rose and Crown is on. Yeah, a bit further up. I prefer the Southampton Arms, which is a bit further north.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I bumped into the manager of the Southampton Arms at London Craft Beer Festival. He was dancing. He said, "Hey, yeah." But it literally, London Craft Beer Festival, as Luke will tell you, it was an SAS challenge. Shame, had fun, couldn't enjoy the beer as much as I wanted to. Wish I wasn't like that. The heat wasn't as bad. I might have gone for another session. Oh well. That said, GBBF was fucking brilliant. I'm declaring it now, even though a year is out. That was my best beer festival of the year. There you go. GBBF fucking rocked, even though it was cut down, but it was just fucking great to be back. I overdid myself by going there 3 times for 7 hours straight.
Only the 3 times, Rasco.
Only, mate. I really didn't want to go on Thursday, but I had to.
Yeah.
And I should have just gone home immediately after, but I stayed for another. And then you gave me that beer challenge, and I had to do the beer challenge.
Well, you gave it a go.
I did, 90% of it?
90-10, as Luke says.
Yes, there you go. 90% of the work. There you go. And then, then I didn't want to go back again. I was it's absolutely shattered. 3 days on the trot, 7 days straight, 7 hours straight on each time. Oh, glorious, but draining.
Yeah, there's a good point there from Mersey London. I find either have the nicest people or the rich. I think that's the same with anywhere. It just depends who you bump into, and like why and what the situation is. But yeah, there is an in between. Mostly quite nice, but I think not mostly people are nicer up north. To be fair, as long as you find the right people, I suppose.
I'm nice. I'm down here. Hey, hello. What's wrong with me? Hello. How are you doing, kind people?
But yeah, we'd love to see it at GBBF, Adam. You'd enjoy it. There's some good beers on there. Luke gets confused by LCBF. LCBF. I don't know. Better beers than Brew London, but not as good a festival venue for me. Okay, fair enough. I don't know. What do you reckon, Rasco? LCBF or Brew London?
LCBF for me, better value for money, and the beers were a bit better, although I wouldn't say anything particularly great. Brew London is a weird venue because it's kind of like it's 3 rooms really, and the problem is it feels like you're being pushed into the 3rd room, and when you're there, you forget there's 2 other rooms that you just went through to get to the 3rd room. And that's a shame because you sometimes miss out on breweries, and it's pretty intense in the 3rd room. It's pretty dark. It's used as a nightclub. It's used as a film set.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
There's no natural light there, none. Look, take it as an experience. I preferred Brew London last year, and I preferred London Craft Beer Festival last year, simply because they were less busy. Yeah, that's it really. But it is what it is. But it is a bit conspicuous, and well, not really a total surprise if you think about it. That beer range was maybe better last year than this year. But hey, it was fun, and that's
Good,
what I.
good,
Yeah.
good, good. There's some talk. There's the C word in the chat. I don't really understand why we're talking about Carlsberg. To be fair, but
Yeah, what the fuck? Now it looks forced, Rasco. What looks forced? Yeah, why is people on about Carlsberg? Well,
I
tell me
don't know. I
something good
don't know.
about
Lee
it.
brought it up. It's his fault. Carlsberg export. We said
What?
we weren't going to talk about the C word on the stream.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, we've still got some beer left. You're lucky.
Oh, there you go.
From where it's being demolished, apparently.
Nice
So
and demolished.
Oh, no. Well, I wouldn't want it to be demolished, even though
Yeah.
there's some newspaper used to come out of there. But less busier festival is my thing. Also, my local festival costs £3 entry and only £3. They're fair play to you. That's a good bargain.
Yeah, absolutely. Well up for that.
And fair enough. If you liked it, you liked it. I'm not going to disagree with you, mate. It's necessary.
I remember you saying that, but yeah, not necessarily. You have to hope so. It's
Indeed.
3 hours if the train works.
Hey, there's nothing I can do about that. Carlsberg is only.
No, it's not. It never used to be. Even it never used to be anything much better. But I thought there used to be a red beer on LNER. That is terrible. I'd never buy beer on trains. To be fair, I always bring my own. It's better. Just a little bit of
What?
planning, Luke. You'll be all right.
You know what? I did that when I went to France, actually. I brought Pale Ale by Burning Sky. I think I sent
Yeah,
you a picture.
yeah.
Very nice. The same beer, actually, I took on the train to go see Pearl Jam, which I drank before the train even arrived.
Again, bad planning.
Yes, I should have brought two, but oh, mate, Pearl Jam was a fucking mess. Oh, oh. Meantime, it was all on Meantime beers.
Oh dear, yeah. Turn that in. Well, actually, I've got a meantime in the stash. I've got to do. I've got that meantime and toast collab. I've got to get around to.
Really, do it.
Yeah, it's a
What's
box.
what's the next beer you got to do? Because you got to do two this week, by the way.
I know, I know. I tried to do one today and failed, but the next one I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do. It's either going to be the next in the series of aged beers, where I've got a 2-year-old Delirium Tremens to put up against a current Delirium Tremens,
Mm-hmm.
or it's going to be that green chili Guinness from the Toast Collab box,
Mm-hmm.
or both, hopefully. And then I've got a load of others to hit the review. So I'll try and get more than 2 done this week, but two will be the base.
Oh, fair enough. No, two is the base. It's because I've got my two lined up. I just got to do.
Yeah.
And that's that. I feel I'm going slightly red on the screen, but that's probably because of the high ABV beers I've drunk this evening, 3 of them. Oh.
See, Mersey knows. Bring your own beers, as long as you're allowed. Some trains are a bit funny about that. It's early ones, but if you're on a Saturday, but I did that once in York. Actually, the last time I came back from York, I was in a pub. We had a 2-litre growler. We left it in the pub before we went to the football. Shows how long ago I was in York when York were in the league. But I had to try and smuggle it through the station guards. They said it wasn't allowed on the train. And I said, "What do you mean it's alcohol? There's no alcohol leaving York." And they said, "Oh no, blah blah." I said, "It's Christmas, mate. There's people doing their Christmas shopping all in all the pubs, all the whiskey shops are selling people
Mm.
alcohol. Oh, they said if it's a gift, that's okay. So I said, all right, then it's a gift. They said, well, it's not wrapped. So I took a newspaper out my back pocket. Luckily, I had wrapped it up, passed it to my mate, and said, "Here, happy Christmas." And we got through. I said, "It's a gift. It's a gift, isn't it?" And we drank it on the day. The other mate also had a growler on him, but I think he just walked through the York Tap on the station
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
weren't taking tickets there or something. I don't know how you get through the York Tap, but there's a great pub on the station at York, the York Tap. But there's no ticket barrier, but you can go in and out through it. So yeah, check out the York Tap when you go to York. If you go to York,
but if I can, I mean, there's only so much of my liver I can divide.
yeah, and time. Yeah,
Mm.
it's called advanced planning, Luke. You're good
Yeah,
at
well,
advanced planning. You can do that. I also failed to put up Luke's Doom Bar comic because we don't really do Doom Bar here either.
fuck it. I'm going to do Doom Bar next week now.
That'll be one of those in the series of beers I said I'd never do, but you never do again.
But to be fair, you used to adore it.
Oh, it
You,
used to be a good beer until they sold it out. Until they sold it down the river and just dipped the pint glass in the Tamar and put it in a bottle.
Tamar's a
Tamar?
river.
I don't think it is the Tamar there. I think it's the Plym where they are in Cornwall. No, it's not even the Plym. I can't remember what river they're on.
Yeah, probably neither. It's probably just out of Cornish water out the tap.
Yeah, well, it used to be good. It used to be good.
It did. It really did used to be a great beer. I do remember it. To be fair,
Oh, me and Jimmy are falling out again. Talking about London Pride. Again, it's not a beer I like, despite being a confirmed Londoner.
Mm.
It's a good one. It's my protein drink. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I think they
Tell
would
you,
question that.
tell you what. You remember
York Tap.
Dean, who used to work for Pivo, which Pivo is now closed down, by the way.
Yeah, bizarrely, yeah.
Yeah, Dean says Dean now works for Fuller's in Farringdon.
Oh,
And
a Fuller's
Fuller's got
Pub.
yeah,
Oh,
but
which
there's
one?
got well, that's it. I can't remember which one he told me.
There's
But
probably a few, yeah.
Fuller's have kind of got a craft dish place going in Farringdon, and I'm going to pop by this week.
It's probably the one off to the left, just before the Holborn Viaduct. I can't remember the name of it. I've been there.
Hang on, I will show use the internet instead of your brain.
Yeah, Mersey agrees with me. London Pride is a bad pint. Is basically all I'm reading from that comment. I'm ignoring the bit. It's good when it's good. But
London Porter's very good though.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I'm not against Fuller's per se. To be fair, I'm just generally not a fan of London Pride. Never have been. Never have been.
Right. I think it might be the Conduct. No, it's not that one. It might be the Conduct. Well, look, he's in there, and I'm going to pop by. Dean is a respected publican, bar manager within the industry. He established Pivo and then went off to do other things. And Pivo has collapsed within a year of being open, sadly.
Yeah. End prices, too much hard water.
Anyway, we must now say au revoir.
I know. Well, yeah, we've done an hour and a half, which is kind of what our shows tended to be on Instagram. So I think we should kind of continue that tradition, even though we got 10 people in. And thanks to each and every one of you for popping in, by the way, tonight and sharing a beer, sharing your story, sharing your comments. We've been drinking Imperial Stout, 10% from Brew by Numbers and Bimber Whiskey. If you like a bit of whiskey, check out Bimber Whiskey, by the way.
Bimber Distillery.
London Whisky Distillery over in Acton. They know their stuff.
Hang on, black cap on stout is enough. Yeah, it's all right. And
Yeah, Black Cab's
ESB,
all right. ESB, do you know, I haven't had a pint of ESB for a couple of years, so maybe they have. I don't know. I personally prefer HSB. I know that's a Gales product that
I thought it was a bank.
Fuller's brought out, but HSB I much prefer to ESB. It's probably not as strong, but definitely fruitier, much more flavoursome, much more drinkable for me.
HSB is terrible. And on
Mate,
that note,
I've had much better drinking stories than HSB, mostly in Portsmouth, to be fair. But no, my HSB in my local Fuller's pub is actually pretty good, to be fair. White Horse Rasco, White Horse does a good pint of HSB. So does the Castle. I
not
would say,
anymore.
well, yeah, I probably slightly prefer it to ESB. ESB is okay, but again, you can get a couple of rough pints here and there. I'd think. Lipton
Fantastic.
double maxim, fair play. I
Anyway,
haven't had that for a while.
anyway, we shall leave you now because I'm going to bed.
Yes.
Um, and that's that. If Disco wants to do another live, he can, and he can talk to you all night long.
No,
Um,
everybody, thanks for joining for this really impromptu Monday night Rasco and Disco show. We will let you know when the next one is, or we will just pop up as we've done tonight. Impromptu, just have a beer and have a laugh.
yes,
Enjoy the beers.
maybe, or not. We'll see. Bye
Indeed.
bye.
Cheers, all.
Like and subscribe.
Cheers, Rasco.
No, not choosing you.